One Young Africa. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Sebastian Segawa Ivan Sebastian, and I'm your usual host. And today I come back with good news. The first news I'm giving you is, first of all, as a person, I am in Entebbe by the lakeside, and I am going to be having guests that will be joining me. The guests are also across the coast. They are down in South Africa. They are in Durban. And what is happening in Durban is that the African peer review panel was sitting today. It has actually been sitting for the week. And today something monumental happened. An M.o.U between MS Training Center for Development Corporation, YouLead Africa, and the APR and the African peer review mechanism was signed. And today I'm going to be bringing with me the gentlemen that are on ground in Durban, South Africa, Mr. Ivan Atiyambe, the director of YouLead Africa, and Mr. Lennon, who will also be joining me to share with us, first of all, how the journey of the signing of this M.o.U. But away from that, what opportunities does this M.o.U. provide for African youth? But before I bring them in very shortly, I just want to request the person next to me here to just come and say hello to you, One Young Africa. For those of you who have not interacted with him, he's going to introduce himself very, very quickly, and then we shall have our guests. Please.
Hello, leadership. How is everyone?
Everyone is very happy here.
Africa, we move it. Africa,
we move it indeed.
Well done. I've seen your guys in Durban with everyone and my brothers there. I saw Daniel, I saw Sharonese. I think it's great work that's going down there.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. We've got great news for you, my brother Jacob.
Thank you. I see Ivan is trying to match our background. Keep trying hard, my brother.
Until I catch you.
Okay.
All right. So that's Jacob Eyaru. Jacob is the chairperson of the National Youth Council of Uganda, among the very many things he is. But the main point now, I want to come to you, gentlemen. First of all, how are you doing? I'll start with you, Ivan. How are you? Where are you? I see a marina or something behind you. I just want to check how you are. Then I'll come to you, Lennon. And after I see how you're doing, we shall jump into the conversation of what I have invited you here to talk about. Ivan, tell me.
We are in one of the South Africa, a city called Durban, and right at of the Indian Ocean.
Okay.
Yeah. And what's happening here is that the AP is having its statutory meetings, and we had science and meetings for youth engagement in the continent, and the youth agenda at the center of the APRM processes. So we are here and certainly be part of such landmark processes. Thank you.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much, Ivan. Lennon, I know you and Ivan are supposed to be in the same place, but somehow I don't see a skyline behind you. How are you doing, leader? Lennon, are you able to hear me? Okay. I think Lennon is having challenges with connection, but when we get him back, we shall.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me clearly, my brother?
Yes. Now I can hear you clearly.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. It's all smiles here from the coastal city of Durban. We are right at the Indian Ocean. We are at the sidelines of statutory meetings, APRM statutory meetings. So these are all the structures of the African peer review mechanism, the highest decision-making structures of this institution. And we took the opportunity to seal an MOU, a partnership between YouLead Africa and the African peer review mechanism. Now, this MOU is very instrumental, and I think it's a watershed moment, not only for the two institutions, but for the majority of young people on the continent, because it means opening up of doors in terms of access to decision-making structures, especially in APRM member states. So this is very big.
Okay. Lennon, we did miss you there for a moment. I'm just going to ask you to quickly repeat that so that we can move on. Apologies.
I was saying that we are at the sidelines of APRM statutory meetings in Durban. Can you follow that?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Here at the meetings, the director of YouLead Africa, Mr. Ivan, my brother here, and the APRM Secretariat, CEO, in front of the APRM panel of eminent persons, the board of directors of the institution, signed an MOU, which, according to my understanding, is a groundbreaking moment for not only the APRM and YouLead Africa, but for ordinary young people who have been trying to get access to this African Union that we all belong to, because it opens up doors for access where YouLead is in, especially in these African countries. It will make partnership even much easier. And I think it also means expansion of the work, the great work that YouLead is doing and APRM is doing in terms of collaborative work. So the key word here is partnerships and collaboration between institutions and African young people.
Thank you so much, Lennon. I want to come to you, Ivan. And I know that this has been a journey. It's not something that started this week, that you went down to Durban to sign the MOU. I want you to share with us briefly what has the roadmap been like? What does it look like? But most importantly, I also want to know what inspired the fact that you started this journey.
Question. Before I go into the journey, just we invited one of the ladies called Theo. In case you see her trying to join the stream, feel free to so that the ladies are also not left out of this
certainly.
journey. So this journey is a 2-year journey. It starts with the contact of the APRM Secretariat and asking possibilities of the APRM Secretariat measurement of performance of governments in Hong Kong, or how they are implementing Agenda 2063. In which case, they argued that to measure Agenda 2063, we need to certainly make sure that the youth, the young, when this Agenda 2063 is actually included in the processes. And the CEO immediately took steps in mainstreaming this his team on board, and leading this conversation. He assigned only Lennon to lead the process of entering a partnership for us on an agenda for youth in Africa. And the first step was APRM is based on and has already determined and decided. Nothing out of that process can start APRM does. So then we started with a framework and a toolkit for member states of APRM accept a youth heavy process and a toolkit that they with Lennon and colleagues at the Secretariat, and during the third youth symposium, the toolkit was validated with people and member state representatives commented on it, sent us back to work to improve it, and we have been doing this since then. Immediately, and today marks the end of an exciting journey with a framework signed and in place for us to move Africa center. Thank you.
Congratulations. I know I speak for very many young people when I say that indeed this is something that we are going to celebrate as young people. But I want to get back to you, Lennon. Now that the framework has been put, ink has been put on paper on the framework, I want to see the quick wins. What are the possible the quick abilities that have opened up for the youth in leadership and policy formulation around the continent?
Thank you so much. So, my dear brother, before the ink even dries up, before the ink dries up, so the structures of the APRM, so for instance, the highest decision-making structure, which is made up of 8 panel members, these are people, experts that have worked in government, former prime ministers, former heads of states of many African countries. They actually committed during the signing ceremony that not only should young people have conversations amongst themselves, they want to open up more intergenerational dialogues. So this is direct access to individuals and institutions that would otherwise not have been accessible to not only YouLead, but other institutions working with YouLead. That's the first one. The second one is during our country review exercises, we can then get the assistance of YouLead and its subsidiaries, its institutions, individuals that work with YouLead to come on board to assist in finding some of the challenges that are facing young people in different member states of the African peer review mechanism and actually find solutions. In particular, the toolkit that we validated in Kampala, Uganda, it has specific areas, especially an area of youth unemployment, which can be used especially by national youth councils to benchmark some of the success stories in certain countries. Other countries are doing way better as far as dealing with the challenge of youth unemployment. We can then use the APRM process because it's a legitimate process trusted by heads of states and ministries of youth, Ministry of Finance in different countries to peer learn, share best practices, network, and etc. Already there's the YouLead Summit that's coming up. I hope young people are signing up. APRM is already on board. Even before we signed up this M.o.U, YouLead was there supporting the third symposium that we had in Uganda, and we hope that already next year YouLead will be on board on the fourth symposium. But other than the symposium, we would then start tailoring projects and activities that are designed just for young people in different countries. Obviously, we'll start in East Africa where YouLead is situated, but we'll go to different countries on the continent and tailor and deliver these programs in partnership with youth-led NGOs, national youth councils, and etc. So this is very big, and I'm extremely excited. I'm over the moon that we finally signed this MOU.
I can't stop saying it, but congratulations. I know that it's been a long time coming. I know that it's been a long journey, a lot of sleepless nights. But I want to pick it up from where you stopped. You did mention the YouLead Summit, and it's where I want to bring in the director of YouLead Africa, who will also be the summit director this year. Ivan, what does this now mean for the summit? And I know that the summit has different forums, and it also has a conglomerate of different young people that come to participate in it. And among those are youth leaders, specifically members of parliament, and definitely members of national youth councils, who are the legitimate voices and representatives of young people across the continent. With this new MOU, what does that mean for the summit?
Exciting and threatening question at the same time. What for the upcoming YouLead Summit 2022? Beloved comrade General Aronda, the former president in Uganda, said that never fall. And if you fall, running. This is what this MOU has done in relation to the two. We already had authorization prior to the signing by the CE Secretariat to partner with the APRM Secretariat Youth Liaison Office, led by the one and only Lennon, to work together on delivering the. We already have the APRM on the faculty of the pre-summit bootcamp used to the Africa Free Trade Area Agreement, and the role of APRM Secretariat is framed as measurement of impact for making sure that the commitments by parties, the state party, and the role of APRM Secretariat in FFTA in that regard, ensure that member states and the general public, including, are aware of the CFTA and what they can get from the CFTA. Secretariat is already contributing to the faculty of the on FCFTA, majorly focusing on youth participation in policy making, zeroing in into opportunities in FCFTA. That is one, is that we already have the CEO of the Secretariat committed to give remarks of the summit on the first day during the Under 40 Political Leaders Forum. Already running. The MOU is not finding us sleeping. We already worked ahead. Lastly, it means that we will now work together with the team at the Secretariat. The communication team is already supporting the communication for APC. They have already communicated about the MOU and what lies ahead. So holistically and delivering the summit together in all ways, and the Secretariat in mobilizing other member states that are part of APRM, also the other agencies of the African Union Commission, wherever we are here and we want to go together. So that is the value occasion that we find ourselves excitedly in.
I want to tell you the obvious. The excitement can't be hidden off your faces. You're all gleaming with it, and I am I am up for it too. I am up to share it. I'm so glad that you gentlemen have spared the time to come and share with us this good news, and I do not want to keep you here long. However, before I let you go, and it's exciting, I have had conversations mostly around the summit, and I don't know any other place to hear and for young people to interact with this new MOU, with how youth can plug into the APRM than from the summit, because I know it is the first convening that is going to officially unveil it to the young people that will be physical in Arusha. We are expecting nearly 2,000 of those to be joining us. The call for application to the summit definitely has been made. Lennon here is wondering if a young African has not yet applied to the summit, what they are doing with their lives. But I just want to ask, and Lennon, I'm coming to you as a parting shot. What do you say now to our young leaders? You have said, of course, that NYCs right now have a very big area to plug in. This eases a lot of the work that they have been doing. But what would be your message now to the leaders out there, the young leaders across the continent?
Thank you so much, my brother Sebastian, for actually convening this very short sort of celebratory note to young people. I'll just repeat words that I said when we were hosting a meeting with fellow leaders, that young people have been participating in terms of democracy and good governance. Yes, they've been there. It's just that young people have been mostly in most countries participating in informal and uninvited spaces. So they don't have access to government, they don't have access to the private sector, they don't have access to multilateral institutions, unless at times they literally force themselves to find space there. Now, for the first time, you are finding an institution such as the African Peer Review Mechanism, which is an organ of the AU, by merely signing this M.o.U, inviting young people. This is an open invitation to young people to say, come, let's realize the AU of the people. We are the AU. We are the young people who should be moving Africa forward. As my brother Ivan always says, Africa, we move it forward. Those are my parting shots. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lennon. Ivan, I'm coming over to you. What will be your parting shots to the young people of this continent?
Home to the world's youngest population, and in a signing ceremony, that if we talk about Agenda 2063, the young people, therefore, the young people, it is time not what is the AU, but to say we are the AU. And therefore, I want to say that Africa, we move it. For the summit, registered. Run to YouLead website and register as soon as possible. Gonna be probably the most diverse convening. I think there's huge excitement around it. And let all roads lead to Arusha, 12th December 2022. I submit.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. For me now, my commitment is that tomorrow, in the next check-in tomorrow, I'm going to be looking out for delegates that were in Kampala during the convening by the APRM, just to see what their feel is to appreciate that a toolkit that was presented to them, we are already seeing results and how they hope to interact with it. Because I do remember when Ivan was sharing it, there was a lot of reaction from young people. There was a lot of inquiry and a lot of input, which was testament to the interest young people had in this toolkit. I'm so excited, and I will be indeed following this up by looking for those. Yes, I will look for the leaders, the young leaders, but I'll also look for the delegates. Otherwise, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much, my brother Sebastian, and greetings to Jacob. You must take good care, my brothers. Yeah, take care. Enjoy. Yeah.
All right. Cheers.
Sure. Bye.
All right. Okay, One Young Africa. There you had it. The M.o.U has been penned down. MSTCDC, YouLead Africa, and the APRM Secretariat. Thank you so much, Ivan, our leader. We never doubted you. We are so glad
Walking the talk.
We are so glad that you are delivering now. You are bringing us results, mostly before the summit. Thank you so much for joining us.
We continue to walk the talk, and Africa, we move it.
We move it indeed. All right. Now that I'm letting Ivan and Lennon go, I just want to come back to you, the One Young Africa, and tell you that it is what? Today is about 30 days. 30 days means we simply have 1 month to the YouLead Summit. And it also means that we have about what? 15 days to the end of application, to the deadline closing down. So if you have not yet applied for the YouLead Summit, go to the website www.youlead.africa, sign up for the summit, and make sure that you come and be part of this journey. I want to appreciate you for always tuning in, being part of the Youth Pulse Check-in continentally. And from me and from the team that I work with, the ES Youth Ambassadors, and the YouLead Events Bureau, I want to say that thank you and good afternoon. Cheers, Young Africa. Bye-bye.